dead. I sling the bow over my shoulder and set my quiver down on the little yellow plastic table next to me. It's got a little cubby holder in the center meant for storing crayons and shit, but I haven't used it for that in a long time. I approach the target and tear off the photograph I printed out at the school's library. I remember the librarian giving me quite the look about it. Not that I was going to explain to her what it was for. Right between his turban, though. Not bad for 150 feet. I smile, holding it up, seeing the sunlight shine through the hole. It's at the moment, though, I start feeling a bit silly. Who the fuck am I kidding? Nobody's gonna kill this guy with a bow. They'll blast him into 100 pieces with a weaponized UAV. Also, they don't let faggots in the military. Still, Uncle will dig this. He can hang it up in the garage next to the 100 and 125 feet ones. He's been trying to get me to practice more with the 22, but I like the bow better. It's quiet, so I don't gotta worry about the county sheriff getting called again. And, not that I'd ever admit it, but I fucking hate the noise. I think I got sensitive ears or something. Carl was telling me to just use a silencer. Like, that's how it fucking works. Dude's gonna grow up on dumb movies and video games and have no clue how the real world works. This place, at least, is pretty far away from any houses beside my own. I think I've only ever seen one other non-friend family person out here, and that was Heather's mom stoned off her ass. None of the group are really into this stuff, so it's pretty alright when I'm wanting to be alone. I fold up the picture, stuffing it into the side pocket of my cargo pants. I walk back to the firing line, taking hold of my quiver once again. I draw my bow, readying another arrow. I'm about to fire, though this nearby rumbling sound starts coming from the road about a mile north. It sounds like someone is going off-roading. I squint past the glare of the afternoon sun and spot the pale blue of a truck heading my direction. Through the windshield, I spot a familiar small tufted face. What the hell? I drop my gear, watching the vehicle accelerate and decelerate haphazardly. Shit, Bert! What are you doing? The truck pulls up and comes to an abrupt halt. I step up to the driver's side window, about to chastise the furry bastard, but the look on his face stops me. I don't see any sort of jest or self-satisfied mischief as the kid steps out. Just shaken, wide-eyed blankness. Whoa! What the hell's going on, dude?
Flynn, can you come with me?
He's acting weird as hell. Why?
Please?
I sigh. Yeah, scoot over. No way I'm letting someone even younger drive me around. Just a sec, gotta grab my gear so nobody steals it. Sydney just nods. I turn, walking back to grab my cooler, bow, and quiver. I'm guessing his folks are being fucky again. Still, he's gonna get his hide tanned for jacking their truck. I throw my equipment in the truck bed before opening the driver's side door. Sydney's already sitting on the passenger side. I notice his eyes, the way they look all bleary and pink around the edges. He's been crying, god damn. Wanna tell me what's up? Sydney says nothing. You've been killing hookers again, have you? I know the bitches step out of line sometime, and you gotta keep your pimp hand strong, but there are limits, little guy. I smirk at him. He just looks down in between his knees, cupping his face in his paws. I'm not helping, am I? I clear my throat. Well, shit. At least tell me where we're going. Sidney rubs his face with his webbed paws. Finally, he lifts his head and speaks. We step around the damp sticks and bramble before eventually reaching the clearing. Sidney seems to get more nervous every step we take, muttering something about being tough every now and then. I decided a while ago I wasn't going to pry, but I feel myself getting increasingly nervous. What the hell are we doing all the way out here? Eventually, he comes to a stop that points past some bushes. I can see what looks like rusted metal past the green. I raise a brow at him before stepping through. I see him, and my gut sinks. Part of me wondered what could have possibly made Sidney act like this, and the thought crossed my mind, but I didn't want to believe it. He's laying down in an awkward pose, knees bent up and tucked beneath the front bumper of the abandoned van. At first, I think his mouth is open, but then I realize half his jaw is missing, a clear hole visible all the way through his neck. I think I can see where the spine connects to the brain and everything. The blood is so dark, it's like motor oil. Yeah. The words catch in my throat. I'm gonna be sick. I hear crying from behind me, and I know he's there. I know he's seeing this too. Okay! Wow! Wow? Really? What did you... I didn't kill him! Sidney steps up to me, a surge of emotion upon his previously blank face. I didn't! I swear! I spot the rifle next to the corpse. It's a .22 long barrel. A really awkward weapon to try to kill yourself with due to its length. I turn, the sight of it all making me feel like I'm about to lose my breakfast. Are you sure? I wouldn't blame you if you did. I did it! His shrill yell catches me off guard and I nearly lose my nerve. Okay. He took you out here and shot himself? We were arguing and he saw the van and started acting weird. His voice is so much higher pitched than it usually is. Sidney always puts on this fake gravelly sort of cadence to sound tough. He doesn't have any of that now. It sounds just like any other scared little kid. He left me. Then he came back an hour later with his gun. He said he wanted me to watch him do it. It looks like he's about to hyperventilate. He covers his face with his forearms, whimpering aloud. My head hurts. I take him by the shoulders and turn him away from the scene. Let's take you back to the truck, eh? I believe you. Sidney's dad was a weird motherfucker. Real grinny, like TJ's folks, but even more completely fucking fake. We all used to go to the same church down in Pryor Valley, so he treated me like I was one of them. As of late, though, he's been acting really strangely toward me. I always wondered if my parents told him something. Fucking doesn't matter now, does it? Let's sit you back down in the truck, okay? It's warm in there. Sidney just nods. We reach the truck, and I start noticing little things about it that make my heart sink. The pack of Sydney's dad's chewing gum on the dashboard. His fish bait pro game bumper sticker. The Alpine Wind air freshener that dangles from the rearview mirror. All of this shit for a person who is just gone. I put the keys in the ignition, then turn on the heater and radio. All that the antenna picks up out here is some twangy country stuff. Step around to the truck bed and unzip the plastic cooler I've got. I ate all the jerky from earlier. All that's left is a couple lemon lime sodas. I take one and hand it to Sydney. Here, drink this. His parents never let him have soda. I sort of expect him to just hold it and keep staring ahead blankly, but he actually pops the top and starts glugging it down. There's more in the back if you get thirsty.
They're gonna think I did it, aren't they?
Who will?
Everyone. They think I'm a monster.
I open my mouth to dismiss that, but the more I think about it, the more suspicious it all looks. Not that I doubt Sydney for a fucking second, but he wouldn't lie to me about something serious like this. But the cops? Dude. Sydney. The angle of the gunshot. He looks up at me, his big eyes welling up. It looks bad. Like he couldn't have.
I didn't want him to do it. I tried, and I tried, and I tried. I talked to him for hours. I kept trying to pull it away. He wouldn't listen to me! He just kept talking!
I resist the urge to muffle him as he begins to scream, looking around nervously. I don't think many people come to this part of state land. Instead, I place a hand on his back, rubbing gingerly. It's okay. It's okay.
I thought if I yanked hard enough.
Snot dribbles from his nose, which he wipes quickly on his jacket. He just shakes his head.
It fired.
Fuck. I feel my gut twisting at the prospect of what I'm about to do. It's like my insides have gone cold, as if the thermal padding in my clothing was gone. I'll take care of it.
What do you mean?
I'll, bury him. If anyone asks, you can say you were hunting down the pass a couple miles from here and he stormed off.
Will anyone believe that?
More so than what really happened. My tone comes out more curt than I intended, and Sydney begins to bawl again. I kind of want to cry too. I squeeze Sydney's shoulder before letting go. As I turn and head back to the van, it's like this physical sensation of dread is hugging me the closer I get. What the fuck else can I do here? Turn Sydney into the cops? They won't understand, even his mom wouldn't. They'll probably blame me as the bad influence that caused this to happen. As I near the abandoned van, I try not to look at the body. Just gotta find a good spot to start digging. There's 2 pinyon trees at the bottom of a nearby hill that are surrounded by thick undergrowth. That'll have to do. Just wish I had a shovel. Regardless, I begin to dig. And dig. And dig. And dig. I pull mounds upon mounds of soil out with my bare hands. Worms, spiders, and other sorts of creepy crawlies that'd probably make Chase freak out are everywhere. My hands start to feel raw. I notice smears of blood on some of the soil I'm holding after a while. I can't stop now. This is already too suspicious. Hours pass. My aunt and uncle are probably wondering where I am. I don't know what I'm gonna tell him. The truth? No. I'll just sneak in, act like I'm taking a shower, and change my clothes and wash them when I get the chance. I think I finally get it deep enough, though my arms are numb as hell. I glance up the hill and see the very edge of Sydney's dad's foot. I just need to get it over here. A quick tug and haul, and we'll be home free. Ugh. I don't move. I just keep staring at it. Like, it'll start twitching or something, and I'll hear this voice ask me what I'm doing. It's just so still. Like a rock. Empty. It reminds me of the upside down cockroaches that I find in the garage all the time. Just empty husks that once contained life and are now just a shell. I'm overcome with the notion that I really, really don't want to die. Eventually, without even realizing it, I manage to get my legs working again. I grasp the foot. As I pull it down the slope, it doesn't bend like I thought it would. Each movement of the joints kind of crackles with this horrible sound. I try to think of anything else to keep myself from throwing up. Gourmet salads, fishing trips, barbecues, my friends. The husk falls into the makeshift grave. For the first time, I see his eyes. He's looking at me. Right at me. I always thought that looking at a dead person's eyes would be like seeing someone who is looking through you. No, it's like he's focused on me. Fuck! Are you? I look down at Sydney's dad expectantly. No response. One of his arms is sticking up, frozen in rigor. It's too tall. Would stick out if the topsoil blew away. I take a deep breath and step down on it. It crunches like a bunch of dry twigs. I jolt back. Fuck! Fuck! I scurry back up the hill, grabbing the rifle, the shell casings, and the dead duck for good measure. I toss it all into the pit before feverishly covering it all with dirt. It's at this point I notice Sydney standing nearby, clutching onto a tree like he's afraid he'll blow away. His brown cheek fur is matted with tears, and he wrings his heavy tail like a wet cloth. I make sure to cover the face as fast as possible. Though, I still think Sydney saw it. I wonder if he thought the eyes were looking at him, too. I scoop the last full mounds of dirt on top, wiping the blood off my jacket. I'm panting. Sydney looks from the grave to me. He opens his mouth, pauses, then quietly mutters, "Thanks, Flynn." I don't know what to say. Yeah. I nod, for some reason. I manage to look him straight in the eyes this time. Where do we go from here? Something happens. It's something on his face. It's like he's not himself. We'll be okay. We're tough. None of this matters. The fan jostles and teeters as it careens down the dirt road before the turnoff to Wilma Bend. All this bumping and speeding is making my head hurt something fierce all of a sudden.
Leo, slow down.
The Red Wolf keeps looking over his shoulder as he drives, as if he's afraid he'll see Clint sprinting behind us. Turn up here.
Your place?
Yeah, it's the closest.
I can't believe we left Chase behind.
I told you. He bolted out the back door first chance he got.
I didn't know City Hall had a back door.
There's a silence for a moment. I say nothing.
I've never seen him get like that before.
Who, Clint or Chase?
Shut up, Flynn.
Fuck you. I feel a pinch on the back of my neck, Jenna having grasped me hard.
Enough! I'm serious.
I reel forward, managing to wriggle free. Okay. Leo just snarls like the feral tit dirt he is. Despite all his raging earlier, Leo actually looks a bit conflicted. He pulls up into the driveway. As the van stops, he's already out, storming his way to the door.
I need to piss.
It's locked! Leo turns the front door handle and, to my surprise, opens it up and steps right in. Or not. I step outside, stretching my limbs. There's not much room in Leo's mommy missile for someone like me. My mind's still buzzing, trying to comprehend everything that just happened. Chase. That fucker. To think I'd been fantasizing about him nonstop for the past goddamn week like a horny 14-year-old. He sabotaged the whole thing, making me look like some kinda calculating, sadistic rapist. And nobody else noticed when his face changed. Every time. TJ and Jenna pass along beside me, both looking a mix of wary and exhausted. I wonder how much of his shit they believed. They're so gullible to bullshit coming from a whimpering face after all. Carl follows suit, clutching his phone in his paws, but not looking at it. Maybe not all of them, though. I shut the car door and head in. I enter, and the dry heat feels so good on my scales. I let out a big sigh, taking a moment to just not think for a while and ignore the stares in my direction.
Flynn?
The moment lasts less than 5 seconds before Jenna interrupts. Yeah?
Do you have a landline? We're trying to dial the sheriff, but none of us can get any reception on our phones. It shows bars every now and then, but then drops shortly after they appear.
Do I look like I'm 40? Nobody has landlines these days. You kinda do. I mean, from the back. I resist the urge to ask how, instead letting out a quick huff of air. Let me check mine. I reach into my pocket. After taking out my phone, I notice the signal bars in the top right are fluctuating wildly, almost blinking. I try to call 911, but nothing goes through. Shit.
Not working for you either?
I toss my phone on the kitchen island. I'll just get my repeater.
Your what? Flynn, seriously? Are you planning on turning this into some kind of Wild West shootout?
This is not the time for one of your urban-ass anti-gun lectures. This is my house. Jenna starts up a rebuttal, but I'm already gone. I head down the hall to the storage closet, opening it and reaching up to the top shelf. I don't have any small kids to worry about, so I always just leave this one loaded just in case. I hear some shuffling behind me. Looking over my shoulder, there's some movement going on in Daxton's room. Ordinarily, I'd give him and his private space a wide-ass berth, so that he'll do the same, but under the circumstances... Yo! The salamander blinks up at me from his bed. He's draped in a striped blanket, sitting upright and looking a little frazzled.
Flynn?
He looks sidelong, then back to me, then the rifle.
The interview went that badly?
Fucking terribly. Also, there's a meth head with a gun roaming around town, so I got this just in case. The others are here too. They're eating all your shit, probably.
Oh. Okay. As long as they don't touch my astronaut dried ice cream, it's okay.
Too late. By now, Carl's eaten them all, plus the box that came in. You know how goats are.
Speciest. Wait, seriously? The interview didn't go smooth, like?
I wasn't fucking kidding when I said that. Dexton frowns.
I'll talk to my cousin. Maybe make up some excuse or something.
You look like shit.
What?
He blinks, then rubs his hands over his smooth face.
Oh, yeah. I took a nap and had a real strange sort of vision dream. I've been having a lot of those lately.
I noticed a pen and paper in his lap now, plus a notebook filled with rapid scribblings.
I needed to write everything down, otherwise I'd forget. You know how they are. Where after 15 minutes it's all gone but a vague sense of familiarity of the setting and time of day.
I don't dream. The salamander blinks.
What?
I look down the hall. I was joking earlier, but it looks like Carl is straight up digging through our pantry already. Dexton sighs when he realizes I'm not going to explain.
Well, can I tell you about it?
Look, I don't...
It'll just take a minute.
Dex, I'm distracted as dick right now.
You're distracted by Dick?
Ass!
Ass?
Are you fucking deaf?
Yeah. No. You're just confusing. Look, I was flying on this airship thing.
In your dream?
Yeah. But it felt real. I don't feel like I slept at all. It's like I was there. So, not a dream.
Not a dream.
A vision, spirit quest, out-of-body experience, whatever the hell you want to be calling it.
I lean my rifle against a doorway, crossing my arms over my chest.
I could smell the metal of the cockpit, and I could feel the leather of the chair. I was lying on this giant body of water. I don't think it was an ocean, though.
He stares at the tips of his webbed feet poking out from beneath the blanket, as if they would remind him of something.
It made me nervous because I wasn't good at swimming. But I'm great at swimming. I'm a goddamn salamander, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Something went wrong with the pulse drive and I started losing altitude. Eventually I hit the water and had to evacuate. Everything just sunk instantly. I didn't have time to grab any gear. It was just me in the middle of the water, no land in sight, and little chance of rescue.
The salamander begins to wring his own wrists, his tone of voice serious despite the absurdity of all this shit.
All I knew how to do was dog paddle. I remember being really scared and returning home. I tried slipping off on my clothes to make myself more buoyant, but it didn't work. I kept looking under the water for some reason. Like, to see how deep it was. I couldn't see the bottom. It was so dark. The top of the water was warm, but even like 5 feet down, it was freezing. I kept trying to pull my legs up because I didn't like them being down in the cold, dark space. It was like I was afraid something was down there. Even though it hurt my eyes, I wouldn't stop pushing my head under the water to be sure it was safe.
He peers up at me now, a strange sort of expression on his face I can't really name.
Just as it was getting dark, I glanced down into the depths and saw orange and black. It was you.
Across my arms just a little tighter, my frown deepening.
You were so far down, I could just barely make out your general shape and your eyes. They were hollow, empty, nothing. Even though I forgot most of the other details, that face stuck with me.
I unconsciously rub at my own eyes. Still there, as far as I can see.
I was terrified. There was nowhere I could swim. I was afraid if I started kicking, it would get the thing's attention. Despite everything, after a few minutes, I looked again. At first, it was just empty. And then this huge head just emerged from the depths. No eyes and a gaping mouth where a muzzle should be. The whole water got cold and I woke up.
Dexon kneads at his blanket, looking a mix of deeply uncomfortable and relieved to get this off his chest. Still, I stare blankly at him. I don't have a fucking clue how to react to this. Sounds like something for a head shrink to unpack, 'cause fuck knows I'm not gonna try. Dexon leans his head back against the wall.
Thanks anyway.
Yep. I look down the hall again and see Carl chewing on what looks like a dehydrated Neapolitan bar. Carl is eating your shitty ice cream that you like for real, by the way.
What? Oh, god damn it. Carl!
The ram stops, his mouth full of the crumbly stuff.
What?
Dexon peels off his blanket, marching up to the kitchen in a huff. I sigh, shaking my head some as I pick up the rifle and plot myself by a window in the dining room. TJ looks most surprised at the weapon in my grasp, the length actually stepping back. Jenna puts her phone down and Carl stops his apologizing to Daxton. At that moment, Leo steps out of the bathroom. He doesn't move, just looks at the rifle, then me. Oh, what the hell? These idiots act like they've never seen a gun before. For fuck's sake. I bring the rifle up to my chest. Y'all don't gotta worry. I just have this to shoot you all for treating me like shit all these years. I smirk, snickering some. No one else laughs. Even as I peer to Carl, he just looks down at his hooves. It was a fucking joke. I'm joking. You guys are so stupid. Way to go, Flynn. I turn, shifting focus to the outside. It's nearly nightfall now. Everything looks normal. There's some smoke way off in the distance, but it's too far to really be of much concern.
I can't get a hold of Chase.
No shit.
The signal in the area is erratic. We couldn't get a call out to 911. Is that why Gila Gunslinger is over there by the window?
I sneer.
Yes. He insisted on us being protected.
That's smart. I left my piece at home.
Oh, God, not you too. Let's just make some dinner instead.
We're not going to talk about what happened?
I'm sorry. Right now, I just want to eat. There's a lot here to unpack, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't be, but we can do better than what happened earlier.
I find myself actually surprised. I never would have figured I'd hear those words from Jenna, especially with TJ around. You know, I'd kill for some carne asada right now, yeah? Hopefully not literally. Flynn's already got that planned. Yeah, I heard. He gives me a bit of a cold look. What the hell is his problem? I'm the goddamn victim here. Not that I've ever put it like that. I haven't exactly grocery shopped to host a party of. Dexon stops, starting to count all of us. 6. The salamander opens the fridge, staring into it as if looking into a particularly deep canyon. We got leftover salad, some fruit, cream cheese. There's frozen bass in the fridge. I glance over and see a few of them grimace. Of course. We got a blender. We can make some smoothies with the kefir, yogurt, milk, and fruit. Maybe a side salad with it? I mean, I'm assuming y'all have been just quaffing down the local diner junk all week, so it might be nice. Carl, TJ, and Jenna exchanged looks with each other. Leo, meanwhile, looks to be tapping at his phone, occasionally looking out the window.
That'll work. Thank you, Dexon, and apologies for all this.
I didn't say it was fine. Some of that's my shit. Dexon gives me a dull look. Without further word, he takes out the big bowl of leftover salad and sets it on the counter, along with a grocery bag of fruit. Feel my teeth start to grit, so I shift my focus again outside. Still, no signs of life beyond the usual distant spots of light, each coming and going down the highway around the canyon. The smoke I noticed earlier, rising up near the res, looks like it's billowing higher, though. Despite everything, it's actually sorta nice out. The temperature's okay, with some light cloud cover that only partially veils the purple-orange hues of the dusky sky. It's the sort of night I'd usually like to spend outside on the porch, drinking tea and whittling on some balsa. Daxton's usually quiet, cooped up in his room with his fantasy shit. I don't know how I feel about the music he usually has playing, but it's not bad. To think, 30 miles away, Peyton's bustling with 100,000 people all enjoying their Saturday night. Hell, back in the day, it used to be a tiny ranching community that served Echo, kept everyone fed and such. 30 miles in the other direction, you've got the res. Population keeps dwindling from that place, too, no matter how much money the feds give them to live there. All of the young folk just pack up and get out while they can. The rest generally don't do too hot. Finally, 65 miles to the east, you've got the Jericho Proving Grounds. I remember back when I was a tweeny little jarhead, fussing to my uncle to take me there. They only did tours twice a year, and there's a huge wait list. I had expected there to be a giant hole in the ground, the size of Echo Canyon, but there was pretty much nothing. Dust and sediment had filled it all in over the span of 75 years. Dry grass and shrubs had even sprouted on top. All that was left was just a torn up hunk of a 3-ton cylinder that burned so hot the metal liquefied and pooled beneath it. You could walk through the site and have no idea that's where the fucking A-bomb was dropped. Well, if it weren't for the big black obelisk they erected up top. Which now is just another spot for visitors to take photos of themselves. Man mustn't forget the past, for the past will not forget man, it reads. Reminds me of that whole push from the county to make the mine some fucking tourist spot. Just slap a plaque up there with a little blurb about all the death and shit. It'll make a great selfie spot. Traffic is traffic, right? Hell, call it haunted, and you'll get even more weirdos coming here to exploit it. Like Chase. As I hear the background noise of muffled conversation and Daxton trying to figure out how my blender works, the present sinks in. I wonder if he's gonna figure his way out before I can get to him. I look over and Daxton is putting a whole fucking apple into the blender. Some bitch! What are you doing? Daxton looks up, struggling to keep the lid on as the apple smacks hard against the sides of the plastic container. Cut the fucking thing up first! It's not gonna take a whole apple! The salamander still looks a bit dazed. I guess he's still reeling from his dream or whatever. Uh-huh. Don't just me. Do it, you fucking slippery bitch, before you break my shit.
Flynn.
Jenna's glaring at me from the living room. It's my shit. It's my house.
Jesus, man, I'm stopping.
He pulls out the lacerated apple, setting it on a paper towel while grumbling. I clench my rifle harder at hearing that old A word again. Turning, I make my way down the hall. There's a window in my bedroom. I'll watch there. No one else says anything. At least while I'm still in earshot.